often does. Or what is it about? Just want to make sure, because sometimes I do get messages, because I do have people that are worried about me. Even people that my mother and father know of, because apparently, even though I'm a person that often takes that it is my fault, and I am trying to explain the best way I can in how I have heard stuff and how they explain stuff, it seems that people are actually on my side on this. Which I'm kind of glad for, because I'm a person that's very often is, well, taking it that it's just me. But I'm very glad each time people are saying, yeah, it's not just you, because then I feel like, oh, good, I'm at least a normal person. Oh, goodness sake. Also, it is. I have returned my air cooler, because the fan was not working. They were kind enough, because it was literally just a few days apart, to send me a new one. Unfortunately, they did not have anyone in, because it was apparently a popular summer thing, that they were sold out. There were no one there. So I believe tomorrow. Hello, what day is it today? Perhaps tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, I'm gonna go and get my air cooler. I believe it might cool some air, because I had the hand in front of it and it has cooled down, but the problem is, like, the only thing I felt was like the cool from the water in the filter. The fan itself didn't work. So to explain it, like, everything worked. The filter worked, the software worked, because you can actually change the fan settings, you can set the timer and stuff. Everything worked, but not the fan. The fan never got an electricity to it, so it did not never spun around. Yeah, I can say some things. Like, I am too much of a good person for my own best. At some point, it is good, because the kindness I have done for people who deserve it has led me to learn to know a lot of good people. I have gotten very good friends in the streaming community, especially the streaming community, thanks to that. And I know a lot of good people. I also feel like that is like my downfall as well, because there are some people that is literally just not gonna give a shit about that. Like today. I'm trying to figure out what I was doing last time. Hold it! I am gonna read, but I'm not gonna do voices. Like, my mental capability right now is not that of making voices. It's not as bad as last week, because I literally called him so many times and like no answer, and I literally just got myself knackered. Today, I'm just pissed. And I have right to be pissed, because I have been working with idiots before. And I was not the only one that wanted to run away from them. And like the bombard you are, you didn't tell me about breach of trust that was. I can see that the man had a noble spirit. I found myself wanting to treat him accordingly. But according to what you told us 2 days ago, the victim had been strictly forbidden to having any writing material whatsoever. Yes, you're quite right. So when exactly was the will penned? That was before the man was remanded in Barclay, obviously. Yes, at the prosecutor's office, under the supervision of the relevant authorities, I personally instructed Asogi to make a will for the benefit of his family in his homeland. In that case, why was it found in his cell? Well, if it was penned at the prosecutor's office, you would have expected that it would remain there for safekeeping, surely. It's curious. There doesn't seem to be any obvious explanation for why it was substantially found in the convict cell. That adds up. The defense make an astute point. Well, Governor? Prison governor can I be expected to key in the inner workings of the prosecutor, for fuck's sake. Yeah, because the prosecutor's office just goes in and just fucking deals with it. Jesus Christ, this kind of reminds me of today. Yeah, we don't understand the higher working because they don't explain it for us. They just put it on us instead. Did I manage to do an autoplay, or did I just manage to press the button somehow? I'm unable to offer an explanation here and now. Well, of course you wouldn't. Literally fucking today. I would have to consult with the notary responsible for the will at the time. Oh god, why is everything here gonna fucking remind me of today? The fact that my father's will was discovered in his cell is clearly inconsistent with what was expected. I want to know why. Well, the thing about that will... Turning his cell inside out looking for it after execution, but no avail. It was the governor who ordered the search of the will, as I understand it. Is that right? Yes, and when I reported back that we couldn't find it, they grabbed me by the cravat and yelled, "It cannot have disappeared completely in my face." Aye, well, it's doing the governor to keep everybody working as hard as they should. Well, there's a difference between as should as you wished for, or prayed to God for. A lot will be reflected, by the way, today. Warning. The point is, it was clearly considered a very important document, wasn't it? But it proved impossible to find. That's right. But before I knew it, it was in the morning paper, that blood-curdling article. The executed mass murderer who would rise from the dead. Yes, that was it. The day after I'd read the news, I was summoned to the... governor. So I thought it was said the day before, but the day after. And that's when an awful accusation was made. That you'd aided Genshin Asogi to escape from the prison, resulting in your immediate dismissal. As a governor of the prison, I had no choice. I couldn't have done anything else. I only found out about the Asogi papers when a directive came telling me to impound them. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot to... Hold it! And that directive came from the same source as the one instructing you about the jailbreak. Yeah, from the top level of the prosecutor's office. What name was on it? And I key a 4, and I didn't key now. Always excuses. All I can tell you is that my order were to do everything in my power to find that document. The directive said it had to be somewhere inside a fellow's cell. Okay, so the wording was different. It was not will, it was document. Okay. I just wonder if it was really Genshin Asogi's last will and testament that the sender of the directive was after. No idea. I'm not joking, streaming feels so much like... I feel so much better when streaming. Hold it! I have said it before, I would love doing this as my full-time work. I know it will be hella difficult to get there, hella difficult to do, and I cannot be expected to reach that. As I said, like I'm a person that doesn't have too much hope. I can always wish, I can always try, but I know it's gonna take a long time and I have to give it my all. Right now I can give it as my all as I can, and we just have to see how it works. But I am grateful for everything that's been happening here on this game. Like, we've already reached most of the goals. And yes, like, many people that has goals have like, oh, I want to reach 100, then 150, then 200 and stuff like that. I literally just wanted to try like the first 5 and then 10, just see like, can we actually get this? Like, thanks to you all, we actually got to almost all goals. It's literally just 8 more, and we have the last goal. After that, I have to continue doing more goals. I don't know yet how I'm gonna do that, because I don't know what to give you people or what you would want to see and stuff. Because I can understand, like, many things people have as goals is literally like what people want to see, what people want you to do and stuff like that. And a lot of that costs money, and I am uncertain how I can do that. I can always try, I can always hope, but who knows? I was very reluctant to part with them. Some books, like kimono, his sword. Kind of fun he had a sword inside prison. That sounds safe as hell. The warriors carry firearms at all times, and the inmates have shackles around their ankles. You couldn't have hurt anybody with that thing. Billy was allowed a sword, but no writing materials. He wrote that will before he came to stay with us at Barclay, you see. Yeah, probably. I have no idea. I was present when he wrote it, but I'm sorry to say the letters just look like squirming mass of jet black earthworms to me. Why did you react to that? Are you feeling faint, Mr. Vigil? Scarlet? Is that meant to mean this? Do we need to know what that is? Hold on, just checking because I'm just gonna write to my father because uh, he doesn't admit it, but I believe I've gotten my stress from him, even though he says I get it from my mother. But he is not reluctant to actually want to listen to stuff like this, so I'm pretty certain I got it from him. So I'm just gonna write to him because else I would probably be worrying a lot. There we go. I don't know if it's the best voting thing. It's literally my father. I was just asking if I'm that he has talked to my mother and wondering if there is something they can do. And I literally just said there is nothing they can do. It's either I who have to fix it or the school. And unfortunately, the school refuses to take responsibility, so it has to be me. That's the simplest way I can explain it. That's the simplest goddamn way I can explain it. Also, what are you talking about, Scarlet? What do you mean by Scarlet? Can you stop spinning, please? You're gonna make me sick. Is there something about the testimony we just heard? I recalled something of importance. Something of importance. Possibly or possibly not. Then just say it. Possibly or not possibly. Well, it was granted at least. He probably just dug his own grave, but fuck it. I want to bury him there anyway. It's not Scarlet Ink. It was written in blood.
Hold it!
Scarlet, they say. Well, yes. I mean, I only caught the sight of it a brief moment, of course. But even by the dim light in the cell, I remember thinking that it was an unusual color. At the very least, I'm quite sure it wasn't black. You can sit down. Yeah, is something wrong here? What I make of that is that he wrote something in blood. He didn't have any writing material. He wrote something in blood. That's why it was Scarlet. So he freaked out there because he did not know about that. Earl of Hells. What? Mr. Vigil, I'd like to confirm one point with you. Did you actually see the content of the document that Mr. Sogi was holding that night? That's what he told him. The court need to waste no further time on this matter. You have the will in question in our possession. There's nothing more to be added, other than you pissing yourself off the sound of Scarlet. I'm gonna check something. I'm pretty certain I don't have anything like that. Because, well, it's not here. I think it's like hidden in the sword. If you have an inkling, Miss Naruto, you must present it to the court at once. Yeah, he had some bargain power, and if those papers weren't in his bargain power, he had something else. Okay, I am gonna save. I only have one life. I want to just redo it over and over and over and over again. So I'm gonna have to do this. There you go. I managed to misclick a bit. I was supposed to click in this last one there. This is the only new thing. So written in scarlet. He did not have his ring, so that doesn't matter. I kinda want to do the sword. I'm gonna check the Kiruma. Okay, let's check somewhere. Doesn't seem to be much more on the room actually. Other than that. Lost will and testament. Upon my death, and all my material possession and wealth belonging to the long delivered to my son as Sogin Emperor of Japan. It is with a deep sadness I accept my fate in this foreign land, in the knowledge that I will never see my homeland family again. I regret nothing about my choosing path. Whoops, hold on. Yeah, so there we go. Just to know that I actually, I have no problem with talking with my parents. Yeah, like my father can be really worried, just as worried as I can be about myself, and it's absolutely understandable. Scarlet. Well, not a red hairpiece. Fuck it.
Objection.
I know it's. I know I'm gonna fail on that. I know I was gonna fail on that. Should we try and press the rest of the thing again and just see what's happening? Because sometimes we might be more updating. Let's see. Yeah, he talked to him. He was markedly calm, considering his days were very much numbered. In all honesty, he really didn't strike me as a man capable of mass murder. Yet he confessed in full to the crimes. I know, that's why I felt compelled to ask him one day. I can still recall his reply. I'm guilty of the unforgivable crime of ending another human's life. Yes. But it was a tranquil and intelligent. It put me in the mind of an Eastern's holy man. What about the will you saw with him? What can you tell us about that? It was the beginning of all the drama. I remember very well, yes.
Hold it!
And he pleaded with you not to report him, didn't he? Yes, that's right. Because the man had a noble spirit, I found myself wanting to treat him accordingly. According to what you told us 2 days ago, the convey had been strictly forbidden to having any writing materials whatsoever. So, when exactly was the will penned? That was before the man was remanded in Barclay, obviously, at the prosecution's office under the supervision of the relevant authorities. I personally instructed Asogi to make a will for the benefit of his family in his homeland. In that case, why was it found in his cell? Well, if it was penned at the prosecution's office, you would have expected that it would remain there for safekeeping, surely. It's curious, there doesn't seem to be any obvious explanation for why it was substantially found in the convicted cell. That's no change there, really.
Hold it!
Okay, my brain doesn't really work after all that. Like, for some reason I use so fucking much mental strength on absolutely nothing. Mostly because I'm not a person that can just goddamn argue with people. Especially not with Swedish. I probably could do it in English, so next time I probably will speak in English to them. I don't know how much happy they will be about that, but I fucking just take it. Yeah, and after that, he jumped out of the window. The document was written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I was mistaken. Scarlet ink?
Objection!
I wanted to try. I knew it wouldn't have technically work. Because he did not have it on him. So, scarlet. What do you mean by scarlet? As I remember, the document was written in scarlet, but I've already done the sword.
Objection!
I had to try. I just had to try. Not because I'm trying to figure out something about the scarlet thing, but I don't have any much clue right now. There we go. Oh. I don't have anything good on this thing. I'm gonna press on this and continue, even though he reacts. Yeah, we know about the sword. Yeah. And this is where he technically reacted. Yo, hi Turtle Girl, welcome to the stream. As you probably have seen on the title, I'm not gonna really do voices today. I am not really up for it. But I am still gonna want to stream because it relaxes the hell out of me. And it works. But how are you? How is your day? How are you today? I'm treating gentleman fashion in the end. I'm trying to figure out here what I'm gonna press for charges here. So apparently we discussed with the governor here that there was some, he said the document was in jet black ink with like whatchamacallit letters because he could not understand anything. And at that point this guy remembered something, that the document was written in scarlet. That's the only thing new we got, which means I have to present something here, and I don't really have anything. Wait, accidentally took a chunk out of your ankle. You do like I have pretty certain I have like explained this before, but my body reacts differently to different things. If it is a cozy little shivers, it is around like my spine. If it is like scary shivers, I get on my shoulders. And if it's like a painful shivers, it's on my goddamn ass. And I'm not joking, I kind of felt that. Ooh, yeah, that's not a good idea. I'm using electric one, and that's brilliant. I'm using a one blade, I think it's called, a Philips one blade. Works absolutely wonders. I believe I have cut myself on a normal shave blade once, but at that time I kind of did like this, because I think I was about to like do here and go up here, but I didn't go out enough, and I like cut my lip. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, that's not a good idea, rushing when you are... Ooh. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, that's... Just hearing about the shrunk would just like gave me shimmers. Oh. Ish. Okay, so what am I supposed to do here? Scarlet. So apparently Mr. Vigil believes that the documents, which people believe are these... Yeah, lesson learned, exactly. That is absolutely it. That's why I actually have an electrical shaver, because I'm pretty certain it was a good sale at that time, and I got that. And I was so happy about it, I kept it. But yeah, apparently, they say that this is the last will and document. But after I pressed Vigil here, with saying that the document was written in scarlet ink, Lord Strongheart, behind us here, he fucking freaked out. He was like pissing himself, so something's going on. Sorry, I'm just checking my phone. I had a meeting. What's this? More school thing. I'm gonna just check this because I had a meeting with the school thing and like, oh. Okay. Okay, yeah, fine, dude. That's fine. Why the hell is it in the? Why is it in the animation thing then? If it's I kind of hate them right now. Fucking hell. Oh yeah, I had a meeting about the bullshit thing I've been talking about for a long time now. Nothing really changes other than it's apparently our fault for not planning how to work 150 fucking %. So yeah. So that took a lot of my mentality today, but I felt I wanted to stream because I'm not joking, it has actually relaxed me. I was more pissed than this before. They're not blaming, but I feel it like that because we are the last class. We are technical artists, but we are the last class. They're not gonna be any more technical artists after us, which meant that for some reason it's gonna stop. They are telling us they don't have good teachers or enough teachers for that. But what they don't say, and what my mother say they often don't tell people because they don't want to feel ashamed for that, is that it's because not enough people actually go out of class. And, well, apparently for years they haven't fixed that problem, and they don't seem to be able to fix that now. So when I say they blame, it's literally like, the only thing I've heard is literally for us to plan better. for us to plan better. That's all. We have even explained that we don't have the necessary knowledge to actually understand what they were talking about. And he only said like you should have. Even a classmate said like, yeah, they talked about stuff we never have learned. Like, oh, is that so? Oh, well, okay. So apparently it was literally like it somehow managed to turn around that they had extra time in the mid. Like, let's just say we had a game project which was 100%. And apparently for those who hadn't finished the course, which was hell of a fucking big, even though they explained it would be hard, this is more than hard. This is hellish and not even suited for schoolwork. They literally said like, yeah, you could go there and do that. So what they're saying is that you're meant to do 150% if you don't manage to fix it. So yeah, they don't say fully say they blame us, but literally just say plan better. Like literally, for this summer, we're gonna plan how to fix this now. We're gonna plan how to actually do it under the summer, not having any summer. And if that doesn't work, we cannot have the big game project in the fall, which means we have to redo the 3D thing, and then have something extra on that, and then the thing, which means we have to fix it. So, from my point of perspective, they're just shooting the blame to whatever they can, because they don't want to take the blame for this. I first called the principal. He literally said, hey, I don't know anything about that. You have to call your teacher. Which means he was absolutely a dumbass. And now I talked to the teachers. We had a meeting. I thought having my teammates there was good, or like my classmates, because even they think we were stupid. We discussed a lot. Didn't go anywhere other than, oh, we cannot help you because you should have told us sooner. Yeah, how the hell are we gonna tell them sooner? We didn't actually know fully about it. For us, it was literally like, oh yeah, there was a hard thing. And then we discussed afterwards together that, oh, but I didn't fix it because I didn't understand this. And at that point we realized, oh, this is a push in class. But at that time it was too late. So, from my point of perspective, they're just pushing the blame. They are teachers, they should be blameless apparently. So, yeah, I've already like reflected about 30 minutes in this stream about how the guy up here and Strongheart literally just trying to push the blame on someone else right now, and like, oh yeah, I can reflect to this. So yeah, I was absolutely pissed. I had like a 40-minute talk to my mother, and it's kind of funny because I have not heard anyone actually agree on what the teachers are doing, other than the teachers themselves. And I'm not the one that like whines like, oh, they did this to me, they did that to me. I literally explain like, this is how I feel, but this is how they explain it. Like, this is what they want, this is how they explain, and this is do that. And after explaining that, nobody thinks they're doing alright. So, yeah, just have to see how it goes. Like, I really wanted to stream much more in the summer, but if it actually, like, people say apparently I haven't even gotten that far, and I have worked as much as you can on that project in class. So it might be that I cannot stream as much as I would want to on the summer. I'm like, this is also something that my mother and father say I should not worry about, because they can come and visit me. But I might not even be able to get home under the summer because I have to fix this. So yeah, thank you teachers for being absolute big a-holes. Also, to clarify, when I am talking to people and I'm speaking Swedish, I am too much of a softie. I cannot express myself as I do here, so that's mostly why it also doesn't go well. Like, I explained that before as well, that I am a kind person. I don't know really explain how I can be kind. I just know that I'm a kind person. It's that thanks to that kindness, I've actually learned to know great people. I've gotten great friends in the streaming thing, and yeah, like I really love that because I help them. I am chatting with them. I help them with whatever I can do. But sometimes there are a-holes like this, and in my last work, that apparently really likes people being kind because they are not questioning your authority. So yeah. Thank you so much for that, Turtle Girl. That means a lot. It's kind of fun because we did actually discuss that I have all of you to talk about this, and I've already said I have done that a lot. And you can also actually talk to me if there is anything. And I still don't know what I'm looking for. God damn it. I'm talking to this right now. I am like lost. Ah! So he's saying that the document was written in scarlet ink. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna first press it. I'm gonna press it. It's kind of fun. I've been watching a lot of Mr. Beast lately. I don't know why, but it's kind of fun to see what stupid thing he has to do sometimes. I just have it on here right now. Seems like a great person. They're kind of fun because I have like thought like what sort of... also here is pissing himself apparently. Because I have thought like what exactly sort of person he is, because I know they're a person that has more money and less sense, and that's pretty true. And like, I would explain him to be exactly the same. He has more money, less sense, but he has a fucking tactic how to use it. He has a tactic, and he does very well with it. I don't know why that came up, I just have it over here. Apparently he is gonna make people adopt every hound dog in a kennel, and I love that. Absolutely love that. I actually used to watch some kennel shows when I was at home. I think it was a British show actually. I love the man that owned the place apparently. He just loved the dogs there. And he apparently like adopted 5-6 of them. But I think he's about to shit himself. The problem is, I don't know what to press there. That was the only thing new we got, because I pressed him about the papers in the kimono, and for some reason this guy freaked out because he said it was like black thingamajiggies. And he just like, wait a second, it wasn't black, it was scarlet. So the question is like, what am I gonna press here? Because I don't have anything. Yeah, he had something. And we saw that on Lord Strongheart. I don't know what though. Am I too stuck with the word Scarlet? That's the only thing I get right now. Because I did present this, which I know wouldn't work because he didn't have it at the time. I presented the sword because my idea was that he actually used a sword, cut himself a bit and wrote with his finger or something. I even presented this, but that did not work. What should I present then? This is Baoji Goku, and this is like who we wanted killed, so that doesn't matter. This is Gregson's pocket watch, so that doesn't matter either. Wait, what was it? Oh, right, that was the evacuation drill. I think that this will not work at all, because I'm pretty certain this is an automatic thing. I kind of find a dead end, but it doesn't matter now. This is Clint's autopsy, doesn't matter. Gregson's passport. This is the Asogi papers. Kenji Asogi hereby request that upon death and non-material possession, wealth belongings to the London will be delivered to my son Kazuma Asogi in the Empire of Japan. In the deepest sadness, I will accept my fate, this foreign land, in the knowledge that I will never see my homeland or family again. But I regret nothing about my chosen path. And the only weapon I have left, he says it is. That got me thinking it has something to do with the sword, but Hold on a second. Is that something? No, that's nothing. Sorry, I thought I would look like a latch. But the only thing we can find here is that a tip is missing. And we've already established that. Because I thought like it was hidden in Karuma somewhere. Because apparently he was allowed to have his sword inside of the prison, but no paper and pen. So I got confused, like if he had hidden it somewhere here, but it doesn't seem that I can search anything here. And I've already presented this anyway. I don't know. And this is a part of a Karuma anyway, but if it was blood on it, it was like long gone. It's gone 10 years. Gregson's photograph. Not Gregson's and Clint. Any ideas? Like, I am up for ideas. My brain doesn't really work right now today. The documents were written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken. Should I just... Fuck it, I have saved. I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Yeah, I am... I am confused. I only have one life left. That's why I like saved just before here. As I remember it, the document was written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken. I am gonna search up. Like my brain goes overclock whenever like fucking argue with people. Even though I don't technically argue, it's just like fucking hold it in myself here. I'm gonna check here. Also, don't worry. I know that you people worry about me sometimes. Don't worry about me. I've said it before. It like streaming calms me down, and trust me, I'm like not even half as pissed off as I was before. Let's see. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles walkthrough. Okay, so we are doing Trial Day 2. We're almost done with this game. Drill evacuation, yes. Look right, pursue visual statement 5, change. I have done that, haven't I? I am pretty certain I did that. Press statement 5, look right to pursue vigil. No, that's better. Wait, hold on. I might not be there yet. Press 5, look right to pursue vigil. Statement 6 added. Present Clint's autopsy report on statement 6. Choose third option.
Objection!
The fuck does this mean? That doesn't make sense. Death was stab wound from the heart. Other superficial wounds in the recent. Oh fuck me! This is why you shouldn't play these games like a week apart. I had completely forgot about that. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring finger of the right hand, but no document in corresponding ink was found. But this is Clint's autopsy report. He didn't write it, he had it with him. Oh. Oh, and I believe that's exactly what you did see. What? That was again, you have no evidence to say that. Have a look at this report. That's my brother's autopsy report. I'm still gonna read, I'm just not gonna do voices today. Yes, and there is something in there that bothers me since I first read. It states that scarlet-colored ink stains was noted on the finger of the victim's right hand. Yeah, so it does. Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocrat, but I freely admit, but I would hazardly guess that they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips, do they? Your wits is not appreciated. Jesus. My brother was a well-bred, fastidious man. Bread. Read. Bread. That's what we say. I don't know right now. It's so weird that he does a point with his hand straight out, like angles it, like. Should ink have sullied his fingertip, he would have cleaned them immediately. My point is, whatever Lord Clint Van Seeks was writing in that unusual colored ink, it must have been directly before his death, because he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hand. What troubled you? At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open. But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual. No document penned in the color of the ink that was in the inkwell was ever found. So the document had disappeared. Are you suggesting that the document my father had in his hand that night in his cell was the same document that Clint Van Seeks was writing moments before his death? If Mr. Vigil's testimony is to be believed, it can only mean that yes, Mr. Vigil, when you spotted Miss Asogi with a document in his cell, his precise words were as follow, were they not? It doesn't say it's his last will and testament. This is the will and testament. A last will and testament. If the conversation really did go as Mr. Vigil says, then what we know now completely changes the meaning of what Mr. Asogi said. You really think, yeah, it was your brother's will. Mr. Vigil did indeed see the convict with a will, but it wasn't that of Genshin Asogi. It was the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Seek. Well, talk about a turnaround.
Objection!
And he does not, well, not he, but the Lord does not like it either. Because he was about to shit himself when he realized he had the wrong goddamn papers. Also, just making sure. I have talked to my mother, I have talked to my father, but just making sure that there are no other people that wants to check up upon me today. That's why I morally just checked my phone right now. This is madness. Oh, is it? That would mean that he had chosen to die. That is what it would mean, yes. No, impossible. That is utterly out of the question. Clint was pursuing the professor. It consumed him day and night. Whatever happened, he would never have abandoned his investigation before its conclusion. Never. He wouldn't rest until the job was done, until the killer was caught. The idea that he would willingly accept his own death is obscene.
Objection!
And yet, we can be sure that he was writing his will moments before his death. And that Genshin Sogi came to be in possession of that document. So, what could we possibly have contained? Especially what it contains that that the Lord would shit himself. Really something that wouldn't be made public under any circumstances whatsoever. Because armed with that document, my father was able to negotiate with the judiciary for his life. It was something so damning that it prompted the powers that be to enact the daring jailbreak plot. Yes, there can be no question that it will contain information about the utmost secrecy. Information of the utmost secrecy. I'm too far gone to understand what he was thinking there. I have no idea what he actually just realized. I've heard more than enough. Pursuing this notion of a phantom will nobody can attest to have seen serves absolutely no purpose.
Objection.
No, my lord. That's unacceptable. What did you say, counsel? The last will and testament that Genshin Asogi had in his possession was that of Clint Van Seeks. All the testimony and evidence presented to the court has logically led us to that as a possibility. We have a duty to pursue the line of reasoning to its conclusion. But with no possible means of knowing the content of the document, there is no line of reasoning to pursue. That's a fair point, but it has to be hidden somewhere because no one found it. They literally just saw like, oh, this is his will. This is his will, but not the paper you were looking for. These are not the papers you're looking for. A reason why Lord Clint Van Seeks, a man of high noble standing, would have chosen death. Information so secret, people in the judiciary... Sorry, I just feel like something just pops up now and then. Would be willing to negotiate the jailbreak of the condemned killer. The only explanation that fits those facts is an unthinkable truth that turns absolutely everything on its head. But it's just too hideous. However difficult the situation might become, you work with your client in pursuit of the truth. That's what you resolved to do when then to the end of the courtroom this morning, if I'm not mistaken. So hold your head high and keep soldering on. Soldering on. Solder. I'm gonna sold something. I'm gonna weld something. 10 years ago, in his final moments, Lord Clint Van Seeks left behind a will. A will that Genshin Asogi was able to use as a weapon to negotiate his escape from prison. In all probability, the details in the will were related to the professor case. The defense's last statement is mere conjecture. You are conjecture. Don't say that Clint was actually the guy. I believe that the last will and testament Lord Clint Van Seek was in fact a confession. It's a confession. He was a professor. I believe that what Lord Clint Van Seek actually penned that day was a confession. Regarding the mass murderer known as the Professor and his true identity. But at the same time, if Van Seeks was the Professor, if Clint was the Professor, I don't understand why Lord Strongheart would piss himself from knowing that actually that thing exists. So I'm getting the feeling that it's the confession of who actually is the killer. And that's why he is freaking out, because it has something to do with Lord Strongheart. What are you saying? Do you even realize? Yeah, I am unfortunately realizing. A confession about the true identity of the professor. That would mean... Lord Van Seeks, I appreciate this must be hard to take in. But it's the only explanation that fits. The killer that terrorized London a decade ago and became known as Professor, the man believed to have murdered 5 members of the aristocracy, wasn't Genshin Asogi at all. It was in fact a man believed to have been the fifth victim. Lord Clint Van Seeks himself. But why would Lord Strongheart actually stop us from telling us that? It doesn't have anything to do with him, so why would he freak out about it? It's finally open, is it? Pandora's box. Jesus. It is a bit too awful to watch. I wonder though, did he ever never suspect? But Barak von Steen is the brilliant prosecutor. Is it conceivable that he didn't realize what his older brother really was? Lord von Steen. The professor made us use an enormous hound as his murder weapon. Tell me, did your brother own a dog? Oh, he did. Balmung. Ooh. For some reason, he kind of... Oh. Yeah, you kind of want to hug him right now, won't you? Everyone would just want to hug Van Siegs right now. Also, for some reason, Balmung. It sounds kind of like a goddamn Lost Boss or something. Like a fucking character for Dark Souls, I don't know. I don't believe this. When my brother would go hunting in the forest of the grounds behind the house, he always took Balmung. Does it mean anything? I want to search that up because I am so curious right now. Because I know sometimes names have a meaning, and we thought of it being a hunting dog. Is it just a name that sounds like a boss, or is it just like a name? Are you having a fucking theory? Wait, there is a... Oh god! What is this? Is this actually a real thing? It cannot be a real fucking thing, is it? No, this is that. Okay, that is not a real thing. Wait, hold on. I have to say something here. I was kind of fucking joking with the last boss. Balmung dog. Oh! Oh god. Oh, okay, that's Ace Attorney, so that explains the image. It's very difficult to get anything. Most of the time, I actually get the weapon from Final Fantasy. I'm like, oh god, yeah, that makes sense. After Clint's death, the creature passed away too, almost as if he were following his master. He was a magnificent hunting dog, worthy of the jewel-stud collar around his neck. Have we seen something like that before? Wait, we have seen that before, haven't we? Have we seen a collar? We have seen a collar before in this game, haven't we? We found it somewhere in some time, but I know we have seen it. That's right, though so sadly, some years ago now, it was stolen by a thief who broke into the house one night. It so happens that myself and my colleagues have come across such collar during our time in London. Yeah, could you please remind me? I cannot have forgotten. There was an old emblem attached to the collar too, made of pure gold. Oh yeah, that one. It was tabbed with a small crown and bore an ornament capital letter B. It's the insignia of the Baskerville family. The Baskerville? Okay. Baskerville is the family name of my late brother's widow. A pure gold emblem was an heirloom which Clint acquired upon their marriage. There can be no doubt then. The collar you described was Balmung's. Ooh. Wait, who is the Baskervilles then? I have never heard their name before. The late widow. The family scene of Clint Van Sieg's widow. There was a considerable amount of blood on the collar when we saw it. So if we know the dog was used for hunting, it could have been from its quarry, of course. But it could equally have been from a human prey. But it might not be either. Because as they said, it might have been, but it might have also been his wife. I am so fucking curious who the wife is now. Because it could have been that literally the wife killed him. Or something like that and blamed him. Blamed Asogi. Because it's about to write like, this is the confession, my wife did it. But who is it then? I don't know, I might be absolutely wrong here, but that's just a speculation. My father knew that and was using it to negotiate his way out of the unjust charges brought against him. And that's why he was killed afterwards, because no one wanted those papers to come out. Which means that the true killer is still afoot. Because Clint was already dead. And it was literally a paper against someone that was dead. Like, oh yeah, he did it. You know he's dead. Oh shoot, okay, I cannot defend myself then. But it is so someone that is alive and not a part inside there. They can make sure they can kill him afterwards. But at the very last hour, those be bargained with betraying him, slaying him mercilessly on foreign soil. No, they didn't betray him. Not all of them. Only the one it was actually pointed at. It was not Clint. Clint was not the one killing. 10 years have passed, and still now the 6 million inhabitants of our great capital rest easily believing that justice was done. That thought is anonymously remains. The diabolical murder was caught and executed. Very well then. You may have the truth. Nah. You don't have, like, if it is defense against someone that's already dead, it does not matter. He might have been a very great family, but I don't think that would shit on the rest of the London. That would shit on their name. So who would be hurt the most if Asogi was still alive? Sure, Van Siegs could have just killed him as well just because he knew about it. But I don't think so. I'm uncertain about that, but I don't think so. Lord Clint Van Siegs was too pure of heart. When he became a prosecutor and went into pursuit of the black roots of crime, he drove himself into a corner. He came to the uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish criminals requires one to become more fiendish oneself. Now, there is something that's not fully right here either. He wrote the papers, and it might have been a confession. But a confession doesn't help anyone to defend them in court. Especially if it is against a dead person. The 19th century was truly miraculous 100 years of Great Britain, and indeed the whole world. New industry, new technology, and with the birth of Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order. But these dazzling new developments meant even deepened shadows were cast on society. Water sullied by factories, air thick with noxious fumes, and crime growing daily to fill the darkness. Lord Clint Van Siegs made this his mission to combat that darkness. But as time went on, it slowly ate his soul, until eventually he was consumed. I don't see how this can hurt anyone other than the family. So why would you freak out about the paper's existence? It's ironic really, and somewhat surprising that the truth has once again been unearthed by a Japanese. Once again, what do you mean? 10 years ago, your father, Genshin Asogi, turned up at my office one night. A professor. Yes, beyond all shadows of doubt, You must issue a warrant to search his home at once. Don't be absurd. The man comes from one of our country's most illustrious families. He's a paragon of justice here in the capital. Yes, that's the point. That's why none of you British can see it. He's using this noble status as a diversion while he commits these atrocious crimes behind the scenes. Jesus. Do you have evidence? Well, we've had. Nothing definite yet, as yet. But he keeps an enormous savage hound on the estate. We need to fill report of the judiciary for this. We are up against a member of the aristocracy. So a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. You should know that commonplace here in Britain. I'm sorry, but I can possibly put Scotland Yard into this based on the tenacious accusations of a visiting student. But who killed Van Ziek then? So I turned down Asage's plea. And as a result, he took it upon himself to visit the Van Ziek's mansion on his own. We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Though we know the outcome, of course. Clint Van Ziek's perished. So where did he get the ring from then? Because that was actually just... This was falsified evidence anyway. He made the late Lord Van Ziek's meet the same fate. With a permanent end on professor killings. By taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life. It doesn't make full sense. He had, like, if the papers existed, he had proof. And if he actually wrote it down as a confession, he would have surrendered. So why? Why would they actually two men just collide with each other? One used a dead man's will and an accusation against himself, and one just, and at the same time kill him when he was just to give up. Asagi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We had no idea of the existence of such a document at that time. Now, something is smelling here right now. I was the only person who knew of the true identity of the professor. So I resolved to keep it a secret and to guard the secret to the bitter end. It was you then who pinned the crimes on my father. I did what would need to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire. So technically, you're just doing the same thing as Van Ziek then, or the professor. Even if that means employing an unforgivable ruse. Then it was you who arranged this fabricated evidence. I ordered that detective to take care of it, while he's keeping the truth from him naturally. Obviously, he opposed me at first. Because he's still calm. Those people who have died recently are the ones that has a connection with the professor killings. So why is he so calm right now? He's saying that he had some connection with Gregson, and someone wanted him dead. Yes, well, no doubt it was that Japanese fella. But we haven't got a shred of conclusive evidence against the man. And worse that, he doesn't keep a dog. So he's short of a murder weapon to boot. We must put a stop to this man's rampage for the good of the country. So use whatever means necessary to make myself clear, detective. So that night 10 years ago, when I was attacked by those thugs in the back street, and Genshin's ring was taken. That was him, was it? That was Gregson. And some hired help. Then a detective handed the stolen ring to Dr. Wilson, who feigned its discovery from the victim's stomach during that autopsy. And in the light of the decisive evidence, Mr. Sogi was found guilty of the charges brought up against him. However, behind the scenes, he had actually already struck a deal with his accuser, in which he agreed to silently accept the charges. But I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew the man, my father despised such underhand dealings. It wasn't extremely easy to make him comply. You see, he had one crippling weakness. Isn't obvious. Ouch. Fuck you. Okay, so what the hell was the deal? Perhaps you have no desire to return to your homeland, my friend. Though I hear you have a 14-year-old son. I agree to cooperate and accept your guilt without contention. And you will see Japan and your son again. But someone could not let that happen, because he got killed afterwards. It will be a closed trial by order of Her Majesty. Whatever rash claims you might make in court, we have no trouble in stifling them. There's one outcome for Yosuke, the gallows. Don't forget I still have a weapon at my disposal. A document revealing a truth that I know you're desperate to keep hidden. Yes, they hadn't escaped my mind, which is the only reason I'm willing to bargain with you. I only want to protect this country's law and order. You understand? So, what is it to be, Masogi? Kick up the ass, I guess? And as I told him at the time, my motives were simply to protect Britain from the damage the truth would do. To protect this country's law and order at any cost.
Objection!
What have you not considered? But in the light of all this treachery, I have to ask. The mastermind behind the Reaper of the Baileys. Was it you, Lord Male Strongheart? Yeah, he just... You are smiling way too much, mate. A rather brilliant idea, wouldn't you say? Oh, for fuck's sake. You're gonna go to the gallows faster than a goddamn... I don't know. Fuck it, what the fuck is the bird called that just runs fast? Roadrunner! Jesus. My brain. That's the spirit of your late brother, the paragon of justice. Should return to reap justice for his sibling. Could there be a more appetizing tale of London's masses, I ask you? Also, we still have the bunny. I knew that you'd play the part to perfection. But your role wasn't that of some embodiment of death, no. You were London's guardian angel. An angel with bloody hands? I think not. Those who had cooperated with me already were only too happy to participate in my plan. Inspector Gregson's, Dr. Wilson... My minions worked tirelessly to ensure that the finger of guilt could never come to rest on you. It's all thanks to them that you were exiled as the demigod the Reaper became. But Dr. Wilson left Britain 4 years ago, and he was invited to work in Japan. That's right, so I had to employ the service of his young prodigy after that. Dr. Courtney sighed. So what with the execution of the Professor and the subsequent reign of the Reaper of the Baileys, I've successfully safeguarded law and order in our mighty capital for the past decade. That is everything. Nah, there is still more. We still have the bunny. He did give us the tip that we still have the bunny. Have I actually used the bunny yet? I don't think we had. Not in this one. He told us to use it again. So it's not over yet. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, I do hereby confess it was I who sired the concept of the Reaper. However, let me say it in my defense. It was all for the preservation of law and order across the entire empire. You are... I don't know what to say. Like, my brain is not really working 100% right now, and I just feel like... Wasn't that like literally they were blaming Van Seeks before because he became the Professor? He did the same as what he did here right now. And it's like, oh yeah, it seems to be fine. There's one left now who can reveal the precise truth of what happened 10 years ago. Therefore, this trial can go no further. Now, I would like to entreat all those present. Beyond these four walls, nobody needs to know the truth. Even Her Majesty must be protected from this. I trust you all appreciate the importance of my request. It is, of course, for the good of the country.
Hold it!
I have one last question for the accused Lord Van Seeks. Of course, I know that you are a high accomplished prosecutor, but I find it hard to believe that you didn't have any doubts at all. That you never suspected your older brother. Yes, the same though occurred to me. Only once, huh? My brother's sense of justice was extremely strong, perhaps too strong. I observed. At that time, there were members of the aristocracy who were bleeding the country dry from their own gain. And since they were nobles, they were untouchable. For my brother, it was a source of great turmoil. It's considerable at the time the Professor began his terrifying reign. During the time of the Professor's killings, my brother did not appear to be himself. And that made you suspect. Yes. But it was only once, not more. Only once, really. Clint wasn't the culprit. That was my conclusion at the time, and I still believe that now. The third victim was Lord Chief Justice at the time. It was he who had recognized my brother's potential and trained him as a prosecutor. No matter the circumstances, it's unthinkable that my brother could have killed his friend and mentor. Especially with the thought that he is sitting there right now. I don't like his smile when he smiles like that. He didn't smile now, but I don't like his smile. He's too goddamn smug for himself. The Vogon ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Sogi, and the 3-page last will and the testament penned black ink and left behind by the man. The wretched truth of what happened is exactly as I have explained. No, it's not. Later today, I will present myself at the Ministry of Justice for whatever sanction it deemed appropriate. That is all. It's not over yet. It's not fucking over.
Objection!
You cannot fucking say it's over. You might be sitting up there, but I have no fucking right for it. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made this 11th hour discovery. What discovery? My lord, I'm afraid I must insist on the trial continues. I beg your pardon? As the court has been reminded today already, we must stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth. And to do that, and to that end, one particular statement made by someone in this courtroom moments ago revealed a very subtle contradiction. What contradiction? But all I did was ask the accused one simple question. Well, it began with Lord Van Siegs as his recollection about his brother, but Lord Strongheart didn't permit the defendant to speak at length. Neither Clint Van Siegs nor Genshin Sogi still walks this earth. However, much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion. There are only two extant pieces of evidence from the time. The Vibigone ring that acted as incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Sogi, and the 3-paged lost... Oh! Two pages. It only has 2 pages. Oh fuck you! You have made a goof. You made a goof troop. Okay, here we go. Lord Strongheart, would you care to explain? Explain what, Counsel? Amongst the statement you just made a few moments ago, something you said was inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence we have. And while there's an inconsistency remains, the defense has right to pursue an explanation. Let me warn you about the statements you're making, Counsel. They may very well prove fatal. Your claim my words contain a contradiction. Which piece of evidence?
Take that!
The Asogi papers. This here is the will left behind by Mr. Asogi. The 2-paged will. Yet moments ago, your precise word were the 3-paged last will and testament. Could it be that originally, there was a 3rd page? Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm gonna be honest, for some reason this really reflects from earlier today. Especially that, like, oh, I thought you found something important. Like, you know, don't worry. Truthful. You were present when the Japanese man penned this last will and statement. There was a 3rd page. Ho 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 ho! Only the first 2 pages were actual will, though. If I mind correctly, the 3rd was a message to his lad back in Japan. For legal purposes, we required only his will. I wouldn't have wanted any uncomfortable word about Britain to get back to Japan. So it was decided that the 3rd page ought to not be sent.
Objection!
The courtroom is no place for sentimentally, Counsel. Well, you're very sentimental about your goddamn laws and order. As it happens, I have the 3rd page of the document with me here now. Oh, that's just fucking great, ain't it? It'll be given to you as the end of these proceedings. My lord, the defense called for Genshin Soga's last words on this son to be read out loud before the court now. Yeah, why are you denying it so much? It's a paper. As he has said many times before, it was 10 years ago. He cannot hurt anymore. Very well then. Governor Caden, you will read the third page of the document for all present to hear. Can't even read that. I should point out, my lord, that I can actually read Worm language. This beautiful handwriting. Shame on you, wait, what? Oh, hello! I was wondering who said that. If I could be of assistance here, I would be happy to translate the word into English for the court. Oh, I'm still here. I'm gonna still kick your ass. Naturally, I consider myself a member of this area, albeit a lowly one. But perhaps I should quietly withdraw after I translate Genshi's message. I do love to just trash this, not even knowing what the hell it said. Like, oh, it's Japanese, it's to my friend. Oh yeah, it's not gonna be sent. Kazuma. The truth is shrouded in darkness. A darkness only our clan's great sword can pierce. Mighty Karuma, twist thy head and watch them fall. All thy mortal foes. So there is something in the sword. I was right about that. Did you just change position? What the fuck? That's the ending of the message, it would seem. An haiku poem. Twist thy head. What is Karuma? The name of the Asogi clan's famous sword. A razor-sharp blade known to all, passed down to generations. It embodied the Japanese spirit. It's not known to me. It is the katana sword that was submitted as evidence early in the proceedings. The one worn by the prosecutor's counsel when he confronted Inspector Gregson. Okay, should we twist the head on it? Adjournment of this court is long overdue. And you're long overdue on being on that goddamn big-ass throne of yours. Can we twist the head? Twist the head! Twist the dick. Fuck yeah, I couldn't resist. The old dick twist. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I literally was looking at the head so many times of this sword and was like, oh, there's nothing here. I actually had to find that before I could do anything. Which does make sense, but at the same time. The old head twist. Well, hello there. Ho 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 ho, we have some little paper. And it is written in scarlet. I pen this, my last will and testament. In the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. Oh. I am gonna read this before I actually give it out because I want to know what the hell this says. Clint Van 6 and a date 10 years ago on that fateful night. So for 10 years, it's been silently concealed inside Karuma and nobody knew. Oh, fuck me. Okay, who is actually the murderer? Because it says in here. I cannot read that yet. Can you allow me to read it before you say, oh my god, I have found the truth. I have yet to find the goddamn truth here. Can you give me a moment here? Let me read this. I cannot read this. Well, fuck you then. As proceeding judge, I have been as accommodating as possible of the will of the courtroom. However, despite all that, no new information has come to light. It has! In pursuit of justice, Lord Clint Van Six tragically lost all sense of morality. When he murdered his former mentor, clearly he was already devoid of his normal fashion.
Objection!
Too much time has passed. We cannot hope to know more than we do now. especially since the alleged will that he penned his final moments appear to have been lost forever. Something's gonna be twisted here soon. Lord Strongheart. You appear to be in something of a hurry to wrap things up. I wonder why. You've heard you state time and time again during these proceedings that everything you did was in the interest of protecting British law and order. And I stand by that. Without the Reaper, we could never have achieved the reduction of crime the capital has seen. What about Inspector Gregson then? And Dr. Wilson? They were no criminals. You used them to achieve your ends, and then you had them killed. However, you dressed it up. There was nothing fair or just about that. What exactly is that you're hiding? He's still smiling. Dr. Mikotobak. Will you not quietly withdraw after the translation of your former associate's will? In this courtroom, no argument carries weight unless it's supported by evidence. And it would seem that the defense has no more evidence to present. I'm gonna check my back pocket. Oh, look at that! We have a 10-year-old goddamn parchment. Sniff it well. It has aged very good. A very good age of a good parchment. Yeah, I can present evidence. The defense does have evidence to present.
Objection!
It's high time that you realize something, my lord. Oh god. This gentleman has an uncanny habit of producing evidence at the final hour that had escaped everyone else's attention. Yeah, especially with it being hidden in other evidence. Because no one gave a shit about that. I dare say, the decisive piece of evidence that revealed the whole truth about this rotten tale. God damn, you're really dragging on about it. Well, it would appear that there is no escaping now, my lord. Yeah, the only thing you actually freaked out about the whole goddamn court time. There's only been one time this guy has sweated his balls off, and it's literally when we mentioned this paper. The only time. There is a single piece of evidence that can clarify what really happened 10 years ago. The last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Seeks. But in case it has escaped your notice, that document was lost long ago. That's right, it was. Only... I have it right here, discovered just moments ago. Jesus Christ. He must be freaking out right now. Everything that happened comes back to this will. This document is a key that will unlock the entire mystery. I haven't even been able to read it. Oh, now you're really sweating. It was rolled up inside this. The ultimate weapon Genshin Asogi obtained as lain undisturbed in the hilt of this sword all these years. Just waiting for the right time to emerge and reveal the truth. The signature of the seal certainly looks official. But yeah, he can absolutely tell. It's my brother's handwriting. There can be no mistake.
Objection!
Well, why are you gonna forbid it? It's not gonna help you with anything anymore. could literally destroy the meaning of justice in this country. I demand that you hand it to me at once. Who the hell would listen? Why? What are you trying to hide? Exactly, what are you trying to hide, mate? Could it be that you already know what's written on this page?
Objection!
You really tried. Oh, Boot! Turtle Girl, are you still here? We have Boot. We have final. Oh, also. There we go. Boot time! And wine. I will suffer the fatal blow as Lord Chief Justice. Yes, boot time. Are we gonna have 2? We've had 2 before. Yay! Boot. I do love the most awaited thing in this whole game is the goddamn boot. I fucking love it. And not any trial. A closed trial by order of Her Majesty the Queen. To defy the monarch's will is treason. Yeah, everyone wanted to be read out. Yeah, it doesn't, absolutely not. Just read it. It doesn't have anything to do with law and order. It has something to do with him. And he himself see him as the true law and order. Please, read it! Because literally, the one of the killed persons was actually Lord Chief Justice. I was like, oh, okay, so not Clint can become Lord Chief Justice, and not Lord Chief Justice can be staying that way. Who else is on the line? Oh, the only surviving person. I penned this, my last will and testament, in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. The hour is 11 p.m. and I sit at my writing desk in my office. My good friend Asogi stands at my shoulder. He has expressed his intent to invoke the dying ritual of the duel, that I may depart this world with honor. An honor of which I am utterly undeserving. The Japanese are truly merciful people. I, Clint Van Siegs, Lord of the Manor of the Van Siegs estate, hereby confess to the following. I am the killer who has come to known in the society as Professor, guilty of 4 counts of murder. I will not here discuss the corruption rife amongst the aristocracy. That's actually very cool art. He's just standing behind there. Like literally, it's not trying to go and kill him. It's literally like we will duel because you have done something wrong. And it's like, oh, can I just write the final will? Like, you will absolutely do. Which is to me, as one of them, so apparent. However, 6 months ago, I took the life of a member of the House of Lords at the heart of the depravity. A demon who had bitterly sacrificed the common man to further his own interests, abusing his position of power. The law is impotent against such vile avarice. Only a few demons can rid society. Only a fellow demon can rid society of this menace. That demon was my quarry, upon whom I'm willing to set my great hound. But though I am a hunter of some experience, I am a poor felon, it seems. Okay. My guilt was at once recognized by another, and I became subject to his extortion. He held over me the threat of exposing my wicked crime to my beloved wife and brother. Under that threat, I have done this man's bidding for months now, killing those he demanded I kill. As I watched my former mentor perish before me. So as he said, Van Sieg said he saw him kill one person, or he believed at least that he killed one person. But nothing more after that. And that's because the rest of them he was nothing more than a puppet. As I watched my former mentor perish before my eyes, at the jaw of the hound I commanded, I realized that I had lost the last shred of decency within me, and sunk to the level of a wild beast. There is no path back to light. Be it I or my dear friend Asogi who dies this night, I am eternally damned. To my extortioner, male Strongheart, may you feel the jaws of the beast at your throat every time you swallow. Jesus Christ, like, yeah, this is gonna pop out into the world. So now we know, yes, Clint Van Siegs was a murderer, but somebody directed him and naming his victims. His extortioner, Lord Male Strongheart. It was you. And his goddamn smile. Lord Strongheart, a moment ago, you claimed that the court I just heard could just destroy justice in this country. But you weren't trying to protect justice at all. All you were trying to do was conceal the secret of your true nature and the countless lives you sacrificed up until now. Just checking some stuff. It just didn't make sense to me that the third victim, the former Lord Chief Justice, was my brother's benefactor and a man of lofty principles. As I said, Clint had no possible reason to kill the man. But you did, didn't you, Lord Strongheart? You eliminate the man who stood between you and the office you set your sight on. So you used your own hunting dog, Lord Clint Van Siegs, to take him down. His fucking smile. It had to be done. Oh, well, fuck you then. London's unsavory shadows are deep, and the arm of the laws fails to reach their depths. Crime must be cut off by the roots, but the Lord Chief Justice at the time couldn't see that. He was weak. Lofty principles, you say. Tantamount of cowardice, if you ask me. Which is why I took his place. In order to fight crime, it was for allowing to spread like wildfire. The Reaper, the Professor, the names make no difference. As I explained countless times already, it was done for the furtherance of the law and order in this country. Are you going to legitimate the murder of my father now too? Ah, Genshin Asogi. Well, that was unfortunate. I had fully intended to send him back to Japan as we agreed. No, it wasn't me who took your father's life. On the night following his mock execution, I went to Lowgate Cemetery at 3 in the morning with Jigoku. There had been a collaborator in the Japanese side to manage Asogi's treatment of his reputation. Jigoku had a fierce ambition. It made him easy to manipulate. 10 years ago, after he stood trial for the destruction of the witness stand, I had words with him. When I told him the position of Minister of Foreign Affairs could be his, he couldn't agree fast enough. As you know, Asogi escaped the prison in a closed casket and was substantially interred. We intended to dig him out of his grave before he ran out of air. But sadly, all did not go to plan. There was an unsuspected visitor to the cemetery with his own ideas about digging up graves. A man who witnessed that what nobody was supposed to see. Yeah, enough dribber. Of course, I knew grave robbers frequently in London cemeteries. But that grave on that particular night. And he just shoots him. well, you technically finish yourself off worse. For first of all, the Genshin, not Asoge, but Jigoku actually did that. He did also the murder and the assassinations. So technically, you have only just like fucking planted a seed that just grew so fucking big that you couldn't hold it in a goddamn pot anymore. And Jigoku and I put Asoge's body back in the grave, which he'd just emerged. When I later learned that the wax models... Oh, sorry, I thought something popped up there. When I later learned of the wax model's presence at the scene as well, I made her swear to two things. Never to remove the professor's mask, and never to speak of the events of that night. And with that, the Seeker was buried along with Asogi's corpse. So, now you know what really happened in Longgate Cemetery that night. So the only killing that happened between Asogi and Clint was literally just a duel because one had given up and one wanted justice. A good kind of justice. Sure, a duel to the death is not perhaps the best, but he gave him a chance. It was Jigoku, your Japanese acquaintance, who killed Asogi in the end, you see. He claimed to be the man's friend, but when push came to shove, he pulled the trigger. Just before Mr. Jigoku left the courtroom earlier, he said that the assassin exchange proposal was a demand from his British counterpart, not a request. They coerced him too, using what happened in the graveyard. By that time, Jigoku was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, negotiating internal treatment with Britain. You can imagine what would happen if it came to light that he murdered a compatriot 10 years earlier. He would have lost everything, which he did already. I reminded him of that. These past 10 years, I've fought tirelessly with the darker recesses of London's criminal underworld. And I've used whatever means necessary to ensure that justice prevails and law and order reign supreme.
Objection!
That can be further from the truth. The fact is that you haven't fought crime at all.
Objection!
While it's behind the scenes, you systematically buried anyone who stood in your way. And then made my father take the blame. Let's not forget the others you had killed as well. Setting the defendant up as a reaper to cover up the truth behind the murder of countless more. Do you have any idea of the conniving that led to the acquittals of those wretched criminals? We have to fight fire with fire. Our court can't function without a reaper. Can't you see all I've done for this country? This has been my struggle.
Objection.
You've done nothing. It's Lord Van Seeks here who worked tirelessly and justly in court, while he's enduring the disgrace of the Reaper's name. And Inspector Gregson, fraught with anguish for having sullied his hands through a desire to do the right thing. Not to mention Gensen Asogi, who risked his life going in pursuit of the truth you tried to hide. No, the darker recesses of London's underworld were largely filled by you. Holy crap. Like, that part of his head is about to explode right now. That it was all for Queen and the country. I'm tiring of that excuse. You can consistently twist the truth for barging power to make others do your bidding, nothing more. People willing to twist the truth and coerce others have no right to call themselves a part of the judiciary. I strongly suggest you ever talk of justice again. Holy crap, it might be a close trial, but I'm pretty certain no one here is gonna let him escape. Have I done the bunny thing yet? Oh, yeah, stood still. Did I give a fucking heart attack or something? He is about to lose his fucking mind here. Okay, so yeah, what are you trying to say? Why aren't you freaking out anymore? I have occupied the darker recesses of London's underworld, and how did you put it? Done nothing. I confess it's a little embarrassing to have it pointed out quite so starkly, but yes, I really have done nothing. Which means I can be indicted for nothing, no? It's true. Personally, I've committed no crime. I've never been surrounded by fools who acted very rashly indeed.
Objection!
You can't get away with that. You consistently preyed on people's weaknesses. And what? Threatened them. Are you sure it wasn't just bargaining? I would like to address to all the good lords and ladies and gentlemen of the judiciary here present. You all know of the darker recesses in our great capital and deep down. I believe you also know that to fight those who dwell there, they require one law, at least some of us occupying the darkness ourselves. So let me appeal to your good sense now. Consider the situation with me. If this catalogue of horrifying revelations were to become common knowledge amongst the 6 million inhabitants of London, what might happen? To learn that the infamous murder of royals and nobles was a respected member of aristocrat himself. That evidence was fabricated in the scapegoat's trial amid secret negotiations with prosecutors to effect a jailbreak. That the Reaper of the Baileys was an organized group of assassins managed by Scotland Yard's inspector. And finally, that it was all masterminded by Lord Chief Justice himself. In the general public of Britain knew the truth, all faith in the police and prosecutor's office would be completely lost without doubt. Precisely. As it was 100 years ago when 1/10 of the population were criminals. Think what we've accomplished since then. A public policing office force, a comprehensive set of laws. And if we want to continue protecting these new era of laws and order, I say again, we must at times occupy the darkness ourselves. We have successfully identified and apprehended the man responsible for taking Inspector Gregson's life. That is all that was expected of this trial. All these other matters that have been discussed will be eliminated from the minutes of the proceedings in the interest of preserving law and order, and to protect Her Majesty the Queen, of course. Well, my lords and ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Oh, fuck, I hate these guys. Oh, fuck you all. Are you gonna throw that, or are you just gonna take it easy? Bloody hell. I'm pretty certain the bunny comes in soon enough. You have to respect the man's ability to turn a situation to his favor. Lord Strongarm really is a master of manipulation. You have conclusively proven his guilt, yet he still managed to evade justice. Yep. One path left. Use evidence. I cannot raise an objection. Everyone is with him. I'm gonna save, because I might fuck up this. Yeah. If there was ever a time using this particular item we have amongst everything. Yeah, I know exactly what it is. Pull the ear, Kronk! Here we go. Oh, wait, whoops. Wrong one.
Take that!
You expose all of Lord Strongarm's wrongdoings now. I have no doubt that Mrs. Jones has already deducted exactly how the truth would unfold. So I think it would be time for the great detective to take the center stage, wouldn't it? My dear fellows, I must remind you every time, a gentle tug will suffice. You're looking in quite the wrong direction, Miss Naruto. Because, wait, where? Oh, alright. The fuck? It's a hologram. He is not back. Delighted to be here again. What's the meaning of this? This is a close chord. You've been warned once already. Yeah, he's a fuck. Just fucking walking around him. I do love it. It's actually taunting the buggers right now. I'm afraid your efforts are wasted. You see, the great detective you see before you is composed entirely of light and shadows. An image, if you will. Where the fuck did they put that thing? Miss Naruto, I must congratulate you on your fine deductions. Are you familiar, I wonder, with the invention known as the telephone? Well, yes. I heard some public telephones have been installed recently in Tokyo. The sound of speaker and voice is converted to an electrical signal and transmitted instantly to another place. Quite, sounds transmitted, so could not images keep them company, I assume. Iris and I did... Oh. Yeah, he's a genie now. He's absolutely a genie. Iris and I did some modest experimentation to develop such a device specifically for this very day. Well, that was very precise. Modern experimentation, Mrs. Jones. What a modern description. And somewhat identically, I thought we might just as well transmit an entire scene. Do you mean to say you're not actually here? No, he's not here. Ah, I knew my trusting partner would have no trouble grasping the concept. Dear me. You, on the other hand, Lord Strongarm, appear to have a very poor grasp of the situation. Allow me to reiterate, I am not here, which would, I hope, lead naturally to one asking. Yeah, where are you? The very question I was awaiting. I am at present enjoying the air in a rather splendid garden. Oh, he's in the royal fucking garden. Not just any garden, you understand? Yeah, he is. Yeah, Garden of Buckingham Palace. Oh my fucking god. Also, I don't know if I read this wrong, but it did say he could transmit an entire scene. I am pretty certain he has recorded all of this bullshit, and the Queen has been sitting and watching every moment of this bullshit. Is Iris with you there? Ah, well now. Iris is currently enjoying some tea. With Her Majesty. Oh, good god. This is getting better and better. It's just any Her Majesty, you understand? Her Majesty of the Queen of the British Empire. What on earth is this all about? Buckingham Palace is Her Majesty the Queen's residence in London, Miss Naruto. Unforgivable distasteful trickery. What an apt description. A close court session attended by an elite members of the judiciary is a rare event. I presumed Her Majesty would be more than a little curious about the proceedings, so I decided to show her everything from start to finish. Indeed. By dint of the Herlock Sholmes remote cinematograph, just as I appear to be standing before you, regaling you with a talk of my latest invention. No doubt you inferred that the reverse is also true. Oh my god. He's kicking everyone right now. I assume there would be no objection, after all. Every trial in this country is conducted under the auspice of Her Majesty, as you know. Yo, Aaron! Welcome! We're in the middle of the conclusion here. I'm doing kinda. We had a meeting about the absolute...
Stand by for action.
I do love I'm cutting off now, but we had a meeting about the bullshit course we had in school, and well, let's easy say nothing really happened, as it often happens when you talk to people that is technically in charge of everything, because they don't need to fix anything. So I'm doing good, because I have been worse, like last week when I tried to call the guy and never got an answer, and I got myself so tired I couldn't stream. Today I'm literally just got a bit pissed off because nothing really changed. It was still bullshit and stuff like that. Yeah, I will not be capable of trolling my teachers. I have too much of a goody two-shoe. Ah, no problem, Taller Girl. It was nice to have you here. I'm probably just gonna end this game here. Yeah, well, how are you, Aaron? How has your day been? Also, I'm not doing voices today because I don't really feel for it. No, I was merely... Oh, hi, Iris. But to explain here, he has literally been saying that, yes, he is the professor, because the first killing in the professor killing was Clint Van Seeks, but after that, Lord Strongheart used him and blackmailed him to kill other people he wanted. And the Reaper was also his making, and he made sure that to kill everyone that knew anything about 10 years ago. But because that if he now would come out as the true mastermind, law and order would fall into chaos. So everyone inside the courtroom said, yeah, just let him go, because if not, everything's gonna be fucked up. So apparently Shawm's here has been showing Her Majesty bloody everything. From start to finish, like we see him now. I'm good, just don't have any energy to do some studying. I don't know. The moment I pull the lesson, I feel like someone is choking me. I kind of feel the same way. This music is absolutely intense, but that's because of like the end of this thing. But yeah, I kind of feel the same thing, but it's mostly because I think this whole course is kind of bullshit, and apparently we should have told him sooner. Which we couldn't really do because we didn't realize it until later. And the only thing we can do now is, well, is in his own sense of word, lack of sleep, more studying. I don't know how much you should take that as a absolute or literally, but I am rather pissed off actually. Yeah, exactly. I don't feel I fucked up with this because we literally have like 2 courses at that time, one at 50, one at 50. And I did that. I did 50%, I did 50%. And from his more or less point of perspective, as I got it to my own ears, I did not plan enough. How the hell am I supposed to plan 50-50? If I do 30 on that and goddamn 70 on that, I will miss on that. Is that also like bad goddamn planning? So I'm rather pissed off because I feel like I don't know if I explained it for all here, especially for you, but the class I'm taking, it's done. There is no more classes after us. We are the last one. Because apparently... Yeah, exactly. I don't know what he wants, but apparently it was meant for us to be able to do that. And we all say, no, it wasn't. And the only thing I can say, oh, you're too late by announcing that. So it's as my mother say. They only just push it towards us because they don't either want or cannot do anything to help us. I believe don't want to. Because, yeah, exactly. You can object to everything they say. But yeah, so like we're the last class, wondering why. They say they don't have good teachers or enough teachers. But there is something hidden as well, as some of us believe, and even my mother believe. It's because not enough students actually can finish the class or the course or whatever. So the question is, on whose fault is it? Their or ours? And he says the course is apparently easier than it has been. Is he having a fucking laugh or something? Also, the worst part, I did actually tell Turtle before. I don't know how you feel about how I am, but I'm a very kind person. And it's thanks to that kindness that I have gotten to know very good friends, especially inside like the streaming industry, and I love them all. Like, they're great people. I love to like help them. I love to just be in their chat and stuff. But I have felt since my last work and now that there are times I'm too kind. Thank you so much, Aaron, for saying that. But that's just the thing. Just because I'm too kind, I cannot really raise my voice to people because, from my point of perspective, they are the teachers, I'm not. Apparently, they are always right. So there's sometimes I just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna speak English to them because I can speak my fucking mind when I'm speaking English. If I would or not, I cannot tell because I'm that kind of person. I have that mentality. I'm very difficult to raise my voice for people, on people. Especially in like situations like this. Oh god, he got revoked apparently. Furthermore, he will be prosecuted for crimes against his country in a public trial by jury in the coming days. Oh, public trial this time. Goody. This is not a public trial. Everyone in here is the only one that knows this, and everyone in here right now except us says, yeah, let him go because else this country will go in goddamn flames and fire. Justice in this country needn't be administered from the shadows at all. By strong arm. The darkness you fostered to conceal your despicable actions these last 10 years is a thing of the past now. Yeah, I don't mess around with some professor because they won't let me pass their subjections. subjections. Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, if they would say that, fuck it, you have to leave school because what you said, I would take it because it's their fucking fault. But I'm just that kind of person. I cannot just raise my voice because for some reason I just can't. Even today, I have so much like problem. I knew it was a meeting today with more in the class that thinks this course is bullshit. And I kind of didn't want to go into that for some reason because I'm very difficult to do that. Also, a very big part of me is a sort of person who looks at reality, which means I could always call them, I could always talk to them, but they would do fucking all because they don't need to from their point of perspective. And did they? No, they did not. Only to complain that we could have done it earlier or we could have planned better. Oh. Yeah. The worst part is, each time I've felt like this, like stressed out, pissed at someone, I've not been the only one. Last time was my work, where there was some absolute bullshit of a, like, chief I have. And guess what? I was not the only one quitting. There were other people quitting as fast as they goddamn could. Oh! Oh god, I've never been that... It has never been that heavy before. Holy shit. But yeah, like the chief I had hadn't even signed the acquittal papers for one of my co-workers even. That's how bullshit it was. This is kind of interesting because in my mentality, I have very difficult to see myself as a person who is right or is, well, good in some stuff and things like that. So that's kind of why I stress myself out, because it's like, oh shit, I've done something wrong. But most of the time I actually get like this kind of stressed. It often is not my fault. At least it's not the fault of I can do it. It's more or less like someone has made it that it just happens. Which is absolutely bullshit. Because I have been stressed before in school, but I cannot even blame any teachers. I know it was my fault. I absolutely know it was my fault because I absolutely bullshit that kind of test because I wasn't good at it at that time. But this time, like, this is another kind of stress. This is literally like, I have looked in every direction. I cannot presumably see a normal way that it could be my fault of this being like this way. Ugh. So, even though I was kind of pissed after calling with the teachers and stuff like that, I needed to stream because, trust me, I'm not even half as pissed off as I was before. In the online classes period, my professor did a mistake. I said there is a mistake and pointed out. From that time, he kept always searching for troubles to cause with me. When COVID is over, we met, and it was the baddest rivalry I've ever had. The worst part, I don't really have a rivalry with anyone. It's just that I feel like they don't do their job. Like, they have lost technical artists for years, and apparently it's our fault. Good job, I say. Good job.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ. So, I have a very, very bad way of sometimes kicking myself. I have said it before. And yeah, this is half one of the times, but half not, because I have seen all the directions. But first of all, I cannot in a sense have done it in the time they wanted, because we didn't have the thing. Like we pointed out, we did not have the knowledge of going to the class. And they say, oh, you should have. You've got this class and that class. Yeah, perhaps, but they have said that it would be easier if you did it this way and that way. We have never learned those fucking way. Like, at all. And it's like, oh, okay. Not much we can do about that now. Good God. I do wonder, like, if they only just play, like, goddamn golf or something and don't do their work. The problem is, like, I'm a person that doesn't want to shit on people. Because I know that there are people that works very hard and they do all they can. And if my teachers are like that, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't reflect upon them that much. It literally just reflects as, yeah, we gave up. We cannot save you anymore. In that kind of sense. As I confront the prospect of my demise, I feel a bitter regret for my younger brother, Barak. You have always looked up to me, and now you follow in my footsteps to become a prosecutor. It is my fervent wish that my unspeakable deeds should not hinder your advancement. I ask you not for understanding, for none could understand my depravity. I ask only for forgiveness. Are there multiple endings or something? I more or less got the ending, I would say. He has agreed to honor my final two wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit the paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Not every. I don't think these ever have a good and a bad ending. In a sense, they do. In the original ones, you could give a piece of evidence and you could make them happier by it. But it's more or less like you could give a good ending or a happy ending. Yeah, it's like a neutral ending and a good ending in a sense. Because you win, and then like they might just say like, oh, but I did it by mistake because it shouldn't be like this. And then you just show like a piece of evidence. No, it's not like that. You can see this evidence. You're absolutely right. I would more or less just need evidence of that today. I'm pretty certain I wouldn't help because they would still say, too late. Ugh. Yeah, I'm pretty certain they would say too late to save the technical artist thing as well. Because they're literally quitting it. As you probably can notice, I have lost a lot of respect lately. But why did you set about that now? A whole decade later. To ascend to the very peak. These last 10 years made me realize being the Lord Chief Justice wasn't enough. Short of becoming Her Majesty's Attorney General, I could have no real power to effect the changes needed in this country. And for that promotion, I needed to ensure no remnants of the past remained. So he just dug his own grave. Great. I like everything to run smoothly in the exact manner that that I prescribe, like a well-oiled machine. Yeah, no problem. Feed the cat. The cat is hungry. I was just a step away. And for your ambition to succeed. Did you even bother to count the number of brilliant people you had killed? Ah, Mr. Reaper, are you not forgetting something? Such as? You very much adopted your usual prosecutor-like manner in the proceedings now. But the reality of the situation is that you are the defendant in this trial. he has fucking forgotten it. However, the proceeding judge would appear to have fallen from the bench, as it were. Oh, hi there. Welcome back, Judge. I have absolutely missed you, my lord. As a member of the judiciary, I've been following the proceedings from the gallery, and I must say, I shan't even forget the extraordinary battle between good and evil that I witnessed here today. The darkness that has blighted justice in our land these past 10 years has last been dispelled. Thanks is no small part. The effort of a bright young star from the east. Defense Counsel Naruhodo. On behalf of everyone here present in the Old Bailey, I give you my heartfelt thanks. The first time I faced you in court, under a year ago now. I had the faintest of intimidations that if British justice, so warped and twisted over its long history, was finally to no change. This must just be the man to do it. But at the time, I wouldn't allow myself to acknowledge the possibility. I couldn't overcome my hatred for the Japanese after the circumstances of my brother's death. At least this time I was like, it actually was just like fine on fine. Miss Naruto. Allow me to apologize for countless discourtesies on my part. You're a lawyer on boundless talent. When I first arrived in Great Britain, I was literally a nobody, certainly not a lawyer. The truth is, my fortunes have entirely been made by the miraculous people I met here. My best friend Kazuma Zogi led me here to Britain in the first place. My loyal, ever-patient judicial assistant, Mrs. Sato, who helped me study to become a lawyer. I'm just gonna check something because I just realized I have streamer mode on, so I can check stuff like that. No, please. We should just explain what we're talking about today and then just like fuck it off with that thing. And not to mention the exceptional master of logical and reasoning who showed me the truth of our deduction, Mr. Sholmes. I'm well aware that without all these people, help and support, I wouldn't be here where I am today. The truth is a guiding light that always leads to the happiness. I live by that principle for a long time now, but actually it's not true. The truth can also cause great pain, sometimes even leave people on the brink of despair. And for that reason there are those who feel the need to hide the truth, who do it instinctively even. But as soon as we allow our eyes to settle on something other than the truth, the darkness takes hold. And from there it grows, until eventually it makes us blind to the guiding light of the truth altogether. So that's why it's my belief that we must all resolve never to avert our eyes from what is just and true. So we can continue to walk straight and narrow path ahead. Well, I must excuse myself now. But before I go, Miss Naruto, let me compliment you on your grand oaths. Without your beautiful composed case against Lord Strongheart, Her Majesty would have been unable to act. Thanks to you and your fellows, the haunting undertones corrupting Britain's justice system have been silenced. Also just keeping time as well. So, until our paths cross again somewhere. It will appear that this long trial has finally come to an end. Yeah, and this is literally the end. There's nothing else to go through here right now. My apologies for anxiety caused, my lord. I'm quite sure we all meet again here in the courtroom before long, Prosecutor Barak Van Seeks. In conclusion of the proceedings, I hereby declare the defendant Barak Van Seeks not guilty. Hell yeah. Is it? No. The scale is still... It is absolutely broken. I do like that when he just lost his mind. I like that in these games when he just like lose and lost their mind. What am I gonna play after this? Fuck, I haven't really... The only thing I can think of is Valhalla. I know that Iris, which is a team member of the Moonlit Yakuza, actually recommend that. And I have played it before, and I will play it on stream. So next time I will probably play that. It is a bartender visual novel. It's actually a good game. It's a very, very good game. I also have Coffee Talk, which is more or less the same thing, except for not a bartender. I have no idea. I don't remember the name of it. It was truly, truly splendid performance. I couldn't be happier for you. Thank you very much. But I really couldn't have done it without you at my side through it all, Mrs. Sato. It really was a very splendid show, that, Naruto. I'd have thought you'd be smiling from ear to ear, but you look rather glum. Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict. But in exposing the truth, I'm afraid I've caused my client a great deal of pain. I'm really not sure what a lawyer ought to be doing. Oh well, in that case, ask him. I'm quite sure that when you see Lord Van Zeek's smiling face, everything will seem much better. He ain't fucking smiling. Mr. Sato. Everything seems worse. He has a face like a thunder. Oh dear. I really shouldn't have presumed. Yeah, perhaps not. I have not ever seen this guy smile. Miss Naruto. Yes? Almost a year it's been now since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. For you to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrated today, well, it's quite remarkable. But I exposed the most unpalatable truth you've ever imagined in court today. I almost feel as though I robbed you of something you held so dear. What was it he said? To fight those who dwell in the darkness requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness herself. But that was just a feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the dark forces of crime. You made fine works of establishing that fact in court today. Well, thank you. I'm quite sure that Kazuma-sama would have a smile on his face at this very moment if he were here. I'm pretty sure that he is here. He has no smile. Mr. Sato. There's another face like thunder here. Oh my. And he really was here. Lord Van Zeeks. Allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal. Also, I'm just gonna check the thing. Most because I have been talking to my mother, I have been talking to my father, so I'm just making sure that no one else is gonna talk. It's not like I'm not allowing it. I know how worried people are. Like, the funny part is, like, even people outside of my family is worried. Like, my mother's, like, working comrade is as well worried about all this. Like, everyone I've been talking to, and I've explained it in every single way I feel like, and I have been hearing from them. They all think it's bullshit. The teachers is the only one that does not believe that. Your father Genshin. If I had been stronger, then perhaps made an unforgivable error of judgment. I can offer no excuse. And I can offer no forgiveness. That said, I suppose you fought for justice and the truth. For that, at least, I can't withhold respect. Mostly it's just Discord. I must say, there is one thing that's still bothering me. What's that? The will that Lord Clint Van Zeeks wrote before the duel with my father. Asogi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final two wishes. The first, that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit the paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint Van Seeks. What can the second of his final wishes have been? That your father agreed to honor you mean? I think perhaps I might be able to shed some light on that. Okay, what sort of light on this? It was 10 years ago, as you know, the day before the execution was scheduled. I went to the prison to say farewell to Genshin. Why aren't you putting up more of a fight, Genshin? Did you only agree to it, Seishiro and I would gladly petition the government. We've been through this already. You don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Eugene, I have a favor to ask of you. Something of great importance. You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it is, consider it done. I'm going to tell you an address. I need to go there once in secret and telling no one. You should find a lady of the gentry in hiding there. A lady of the gentry. She's not in a good way, and she's with a child. The birth is imminent. As a medical man, I'd like you to attend her, please. Is Clint Iris's father? By any chance, is this child yours, Genshin? Don't be daft. It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew, as his dying wish. I swore to the man that I would help, that I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. But if something would happen to me, I need to ask you that same favor. What did you say? If something would happen to you. Tomorrow night you're going to be... Yep. Wait, so is Iris's Van Seek's daughter? So... Baron Van Seeks is actually uncle to Iris. I'll head there at once. No, not with him. This is a favor I am asking of you, and only you, Eugene. Right, I see. Very well then. That's why it was so kept hidden. The very night, I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Denver. I found the old house in the middle of nowhere. It was an old hunting hound laid asleep in the grounds. The poor woman was on the floor at the back of a darkened room. She was in mortal danger. I broke her of water to precipitate the labor before she weakened further. It was a torturous birth. I did everything humanly possible for her and her child. It's a little Iris. And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome a new life into the world. But tragically, my efforts to save the mother's life were in vain. I held a healthy newborn girl in my arms and wept for longer than I could remember. This is so sad. This is like both like happy and sad because we won, but like now we have this fucking thing to deal with. There was a precious little in it, but an old travel trunk caught my eye. It had clearly been well looked over the years, made up of quality leather with fine stitching. But it was when I saw the emblem on the side that everything dropped into place. You mean the woman was the wife of Lord Clint Van Seeks? That's right. The newborn was his daughter. But that makes no sense. Why on earth wouldn't Clint have entrusted the child to my care in that case? I was completely unaware that he even had a daughter. I suppose he didn't really have any choice. What? Well, your brother said that he confessed everything to his wife. So she must have been beside herself with worry for her child. If the true identity of the professor were ever made public, the girl would be forever branded as the daughter of the infamous mass murderer. Oh, fuck me. I kind of realized something. There is actually a game, a Sherlock game, that is literally called The Devil's Daughter. And you actually have a take caring of a child as Sherlock. And that is actually Moriarty's own daughter. Oh, fuck me. Well, that was a fucking plot twist. So the only solution was to distance the young girl from Van Ziek's family as much as possible. I don't believe it. I imagine that his final hour, Lord Clint Van Zieks made the obvious choice. He would have thought to himself, this Japanese man here is someone I can trust. I honored my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later, I was summoned back to Japan. And without disclosing the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me. Have you even realized yet, people, who is talking about? I was completely at loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend. I asked him if he knew it would be a father to her. That being Mrs. Sholmes, I presume. Yes. He took one look in my eyes and agreed to it in the spot. He has a heart of gold. Really. All that can be said is that I did it for his child. Was to give her a name. Oh. When I came to Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. So it was her name I gave the little girl. Your wife's name, Mikotoba. In other words, the name of my mother. Ayame Mikotoba. That's right. Ayame. Or in English, Iris. Hell yeah! We know exactly who that is. I apparently just pinched him. Ah, my dear fellows, can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. Apparently this thing can pinch as well. I get so many things here. Also, what's going on here? There we go, I just wanted to answer some stuff. Miss Shum, is that you? Who else would it be? Ouch! Yes, we can hear you. You see what exactly thugging can do? Let that be a lesson to you. Mrs. Jones, we weren't able to thank you properly before, but you were simply marvelous. The checkmate move was a stroke of genius. Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It had become apparent to me to stop the Lord Chieftain's injustice. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was a good name. Will require such measures. Bruno! Sissy! Oh, Iris. But everyone is like, the fuck? Oh, I'm so pleased. What a wonderful outcome. Everyone's like, oh, Iris. It's like, wait, fuck the hold on. You're talking about that girl there. Her Majesty Queen Vicky. Oh, that's fucking adorable. Said she thought my special blend was delicious. Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews more delicious tea than you do, Iris. Let's have a party to celebrate. And Mr. Reaper, you simply must come too. Oh, this would be awkward for him. Oh, I don't know how he would respond. Because he literally said her name is Iris. It's like, okay, Now we know that the daughter's name is Iris. Oh, it's Iris! The fuck? I'm afraid I couldn't. The Reaper of the Bailey is flustered by a 10-year-old girl. Again. Yeah, but this time for a real reason. I'm pretty certain he got flustered last time as well he met her. But this time there is a reason for it. Oh, no, really? Oh, phew. But I give you my word that I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude. You promise now, I won't let you forget. I love Iris. That was the plot twist. Like, first of all, we thought for like 1.5 game that her father was dead. But it was not her father, because the guy who wrote the books was the father. No, apparently was not, because that was Mikko Tobak. And in a sense, he was the father. He was the one that helped her out in the world. But no, the father was the one who... the mother was the one more or less owning the trunk, I believe. Because I'm pretty certain it's the same trunk that they have as a table. Well, I do wonder how he's gonna react about that. Well, I think I ought to be leaving. Lord 6, would you care to accompany me? Certainly. These two kind of have like a silent bond, don't they? Miss Neruda, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. I believe you saved my life. Wait, Lord 6. Yes? What you intending to do now? Well, clearly I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office. Why? I intend to publicate the full truth about the professor case. Once that's done, the Van Sieg's family will be ostracized completely from London society. Clearly not. So, as soon as I'm free from my employment, I shall leave the capital. Oh, I see. Like, seriously, could these two have like a more silent bond? Are those actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey? I beg your pardon? For the past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and been cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you're finally freed from that dispute, your battle is just beginning, surely. Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips. I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm properly here, I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now. Rinosuke. He's not the only one who matured. It's Naruto. Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner. Of course we must. Well, now we know the truth about Iris at least. I kinda would want to know how it goes between Van Sieks and Iris though, because we technically haven't really talked about the full who it actually is. I kinda would want to actually hear that first before the game ends. Well, party time. About time you got here. We've been waiting for ages, Odo. What are you doing with that colorful piece of history? It's a party, isn't it? Is it gonna go off with a bang? I mean, fireworks, ideally. But when I got fire, smoke is the next best thing, ain't it? There's a girl on Francis Street who would help you with that, I think. Right. I'll remember that. Yeah, Venus. Also, would I want to say Venus Dawn? You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak. You really must hear this. It's quite the most extraordinary thing. I assure you, it will defy expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikotobak. Ah, the world-famous great detective, regaling his partner with the tales of his adventure. A sight to behold. Would you care to hazard guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin? I would believe it, yes. I say, Mikotobak, I detect not a hint of surprise. I wonder why that is. Maybe because I was there at the scene as well. Jones. It's such a fucking airhead sometimes. It is absolutely like a fucking airhead. Jesus. Ah, not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Miss Susato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy. Dinner is on the table, everyone. Please, do come and take a seat. I really would want Iris to know. Can someone please tell her something? Yep, I'm losing my coppers to Clubber and I'm going back into what I know best. It's a diver's life for me. No, not really. But why? Well, the boss ain't around no more, so... And anyway, no matter how hard I try, the Reaper ain't never gonna accept that the diver turn dick, is he? The diver turned dick, Jesus. Well, people can't change, you know. Ah, yes, that reminds me. I rather thoroughly offered to relieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence. It's Inspector's pocket watch, and the crown has been reattached. That watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievement at Scotland Yard. For 10 years without fail, it measured every second for the man's remarkable career. Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive by taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again. Yeah, we're just forced into a corner right now. Yeah, we're gonna make her cry. Nope. Yeah, it was your boss. Oh, that's not necessary. That's not necessary. Alright then, it's decided. I'll do it. Oh. I'm not entirely sure that would be appropriate. Yeah, I think Gina, it might be best to, well... I think I'd like forget that promise. Iris? Well, obviously, I always wondered about who my real dad is. Of course I have. I want to know where I came from. I thought he might tell me something about myself. But I've caused a lot of the trouble trying to find out for so many people. Hurley, Runo, Professor Mickey. Oh no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone. Well, anyway, I decided to give it up upon it. Because I finally really realized my daddy is the greatest in the world. The great detective, of course. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Oh. Don't you agree? Hurley? Yeah. This is beautiful though. I think Mikotobak... Yes, Sholmes? I think I ought to express my gratitude to you. For 6 years, you and I have solved mysteries together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude of our good services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. I should never have experienced it were it not for you. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Like, I will agree to this. I did say I wanted Iris to know, but she literally accepted that she has been living with Sholmes all this time, and she has accepted it. So, there is no need to say it. Well, the food would go cold, that's one problem. Maybe next week early. Or sure a week is long enough, Iris. Well, he has been able to keep her alive for 10 years, so I wouldn't complain. This Atheros have been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experience while I've been here. But I think now the time has come. Time to bid this place farewell. Hi, Mako Tobak. Oh, Professor. Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Susato's room. Yes, Susato went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of. Ah, I see. Do you know what that is? I want to thank you for what you did earlier. Just checking. With Iris, I mean. When the subject of her father came up. Lord Clint Van Seeks. I made up my mind years ago never to tell who her real father was. It was agreed with the Genshin, after all. Lord Clint Van Seek's final wishes before he died, you mean? Yeah. I've had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Susato back to Japan 6 months ago, for example. Oh, that was why! Huh! When I read Saseki-san's report about his final day in London, my heart... Saseki-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly skipped a beat. You stumble across the crux of that terrible case, the dog's collar. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt. Baskerville. Iris Baskerville. If you decide to investigate that insignia, sooner or later you'd have made a connection to Van Seek. And to make matters worse, Susato knew of the unpublished story as well. A story that Iris had written based off my notes from the time. Yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. For some reason I'm just like checking over and over and over again here right now. A dog with a Baskerville family emblem around his neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you and Susato might have arrived to the truth. So I invented a story about having a collapse to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. All in aid of halting investigations you and she might have been contemplating. I see. Something I've never understood is why Susato-san came across the manuscript in Japan though. You know, Iris, the Hound of the Baskerville story, I mean. Shom sent it to me. That was before Susato left Japan. I was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I read it and carelessly left it on my desk, which is where Susato came across it, of course. It was the only case Sholmes and I have ever pursued that I didn't record in my meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that a young Iris has pieced together so much of it from my paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we should not allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Sholmes for safekeeping. So you did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father? That's right, because Sholmes had told me astute she'd become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion has somewhat shifted. I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it will be for the best. I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something too. Judging from your expression, Jesus Christ. I'd say you come to a decision, have you? Yes, I have. I will be returning with you to Japan. Are you quite sure? I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma. But he's here in Britain now. As originally intended, locum student Naruto, it doesn't really have right to stay, I think. I see. Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February, my becoming a lawyer just seemed to be a way things turned out. With Kazuma, Susato, and Mrs. Sholmes all gently pushing me in that direction. I spent the best part of my years immersed in this world, but always aware of a seed of doubt inside of me. Until today. Standing in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I would see the trial through. At the end of it, I finally realized no one else could choose this path for me. I choose it myself. Yes, that's what I am now. That's why I'll be going back with you to Japan as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life. Well, it sounds you made up a quite resolution there. I have. Very well then. I must say, it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangement for you to return first thing tomorrow, but I don't imagine we'll depart for a few days. Not with the symposium having been cancelled now. Such a shame. Never mind, I'm sure there'll be another opportunities in the future. Well then, I bid you a good night. Ah, you heard that, did you? Susato? How do you feel about all this? Did you hear what your father and I were discussing? Yeah, thought so. Oh, how much did you hear? Well, from part about Iris' real father, I think. In other words, from the beginning. So you made up your mind. You return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer. Yes, I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about this. I did want to earlier this evening actually, but you'd already gone out. I already knew that it would what you decide. Susato? Yes? I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon. I suppose. Why don't you see so sad? Because I'm pretty certain you were sadder when they actually caught up before about this. It'd be great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. It certainly benefited great having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side. Jesus. My mind is going blank soon. I'll do my very best. Don't think about that because she will know about it. She can read minds. It's growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute of Lockham should be ashamed of themselves. That is kind of true. You were perhaps a student before, but holy shit, you did something no one wanted to do or wanted to happen or anything. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more because it cannot just be saying goodbye and like stuff like that. Yep. Port of Denver. Quayside. I can't believe this day finally come. You're really leaving then, Reno? I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I would do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. Oh, I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will. Of course, I promise. Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while at least, it felt like old times. Yes, I suppose in reflection. There is something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while. I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think. Alright, Iris, you'll do that. Honk. Honk honk.
Susato-san.
Oh.
I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a
I don't
journey,
need to
isn't
read
it?
anymore.
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Sorry?
Ryunosuke,
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital, but...
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
Me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
I'm going to become a prosecutor. I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
That's actually a good thing.
I see.
He never was a bad person, it was just someone who wrote him bad.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
Karuma? Why?
Why? Yeah, Jesus, at the same time, what the fuck?
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me. The demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor.
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Until I'm ready to face the demon within me. To slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care. If you'll take it.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always.
Nice. Just checking some stuff, because why not?
Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
What about... Yeah, what about
Naruto-san?
Susato? Because she is a juridical assistant for the defense lawyer, but he's a prosecutor right now.
The path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side, and unless I'd be a burden.
Hell fucking no, you would not be a burden.
What?
You're absolutely not a burden.
I mean, I would very much like you to come
Just
with
goddamn kiss already.
me. But aren't you...
You're so predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Oh, when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba.
It's called Mikotobak.
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry
I
that
guess this is gonna
perhaps
be
I'd
one
a
of those
burden
days
to
where
him.
that like takes a half an hour or just an hour just finish
He's
a
just
game.
as much of a stickler
The game
for
is
etiquette
technically
as you are.
finished, we just do the story
He'd
now.
never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you
Simple
by my
kiss
side,
already.
no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
Jesus Christ.
What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
It is?
What, you don't
Your
think they actually
fine
already
judicial
planned all of
assistant
that?
has everything in hand as always, I see.
Hong Kong.
Bruno, your ship's about to leave.
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword. One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
This was a good game. I fucking love these games.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
I really want them to do remakes of the
As
other
if
ones
I
as
could.
well, because I want to continue
Ryunosuke.
streaming these games. And unfortunately, I am
Mr.
done with
Sholmes,
them.
Thank you so much. I'm very much
I have
indebted to
I have
you.
no other Ace Attorney game to play.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude. Especially when I visit you in your country. What? The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Well, I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes, would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain. A peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those many months ago. But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be,
Come, the game is afoot.
I'm gonna be honest, I looked over when I heard the sound
The ship
in the
with our
background,
friends
the
from
sound
east
effect.
sailed
And I was
steadily
literally like, wait,
towards
did
the
someone do the
distant
objection
horizon.
thing? I'm like, oh no, no one did. My cat
What
actually
chose
got
his
me.
face was alight with joy. The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
So I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
Objection.
objection!
Until we meet again, Runo.
Oh, I love these games. I love them so much. Oh, I'm so sad it's over. Fuck. I'm so fucking sad it's over now. But yeah, it has gone over like an half an hour extra. It does that sometimes with games like these because they have like a lot of story to explain. Okay, it does automatic, it does automatic. Good. But yeah, I do hope you enjoy this series. I absolutely loved it. I can never get enough of these games. I've never played this one before because this was apparently a Japan exclusive game, if I don't remember correctly or something. And I just learned like they would actually re-release it for the Switch all across the world, and I got fucking giddly. I was like, hell fucking yeah, I'm getting that as fast as I goddamn can. And I'm not joking, I did that. When it came out, I got it, I downloaded it, I waited for the other game I played before that to be finished, and then I got to this one. I love these games. The first I believe I ever played was either one of the 3 first ones or it was Dual Destinies. I really want to play Dual Destinies and the Spirit of Justice again, to be honest. I cannot do that on stream because it is on the DS, 3DS to be precise. And unfortunately the battery on that is absolutely kaput. I have said for years you should buy a new battery. I have not done that yet and I cannot stream from it. So I would absolutely fucking hope that they would do that again, because these are great games. Like, I have owned the games before, I've played them before, but I would happily buy them again. I would buy them again and share the love with a game for all of you people out there. That's what I do. I love playing games and I love streaming. I'm not joking, because as I said, I had a rather terrible day today with thought of the meeting, and the only thing I could mentally do was sit quietly and only answer the things I knew I could answer. That's just how I am, unfortunately, and I was so fucking pissed afterward, because the only thing I could hear was excuses all the time from my point of perspective. But like, streaming, it helps me a fucking lot. I just love streaming. I just love to just wind down, do not think about the rest. I'm really happy for all of you to be here. I am happy that you enjoy being here. Like, I know I'm not a big streamer. I don't care if I'm a big streamer. One day, for sure, I will just, I don't know, rise up, who knows? But I just enjoy being with you here, just sharing the love for games with you people. And I'm gonna continue that as long as I goddamn can. Like, why would you stop doing something that makes you happy? Oh, so many cats. Why does he have so many cats now? Are you still coughing blood, by the way? Because holy shit, you have like... He has been coughing blood all the fucking 2 games and still alive. I don't know what's up with him. But yeah, I don't like... I was about to say I don't know what to stream after this. I kinda know what to stream, but they are 2 small games. I don't know if they're indie games, but they are good games, but they're not as big as this game or something like that. So it might be... For 2 games, it might be 4 streams. I don't really know what I'm gonna stream after that. I'm gonna figure something out. Also, we only have 8 people left until the next goal is met, and I will start playing some Danganronpa 2. Because I know there are some people who wants me to play that, and I will absolutely do that. But I wanted to get some goals now, just to like... I want to set like a goals to be able to see like if I can actually achieve those goals. But I also want to give you all something for helping me doing that as well. And that was one of those goals. To watch me play Danganronpa, because I know there are people, especially the Turtle Girl and Gani, who has been here for a long time. But yeah, so we're just gonna watch this and then I'm gonna call it a day. I need to take a rest because I am actually a bit mentally exhausted, and it is fucking terrible because I really hate when it is like this. And unfortunately, it's nothing I can do about it, other than apparently do something they want me to do that I feel is starting to become unnecessary because it's not built for us. But my last work was like that as well. I was just supposed to do what they wanted me to do. I guess I just have to do that again then. But yeah, it's not as bad as that, because I literally got mentally and physically sick from that work. Now, they have not fucked up that much. They have just fucked up, to be honest. Enough that they would realize, but unfortunately they don't. Why is he in prison? I'm trying to figure out why he is in prison. Oh, probably because he actually he mimicked to be a cop. I love these games. I don't know if I have any more visual novel game though. Let's see if I can find something. I have a few games I can download or have downloaded, so I have no problem with games. It's just like if you people would enjoy watching them. Also, if you do have suggestions for goals and stuff, do give it to me, because I'm not that kind of person who needs like a lot, which means that goals are something for all of us right now. Because I know like Miss Valkyrie, for example, has like donations goals and stuff like that, and there are stuff that go on stream. Personally, I cannot really do that because I need a reason for our donation goals and stuff like that, so that's why I have that, because the reason is for you all to not have shit sound whenever I like play VR or it's away from the computer, like a Ring Fit and stuff like that. But else is like I mostly have following goals, and let's just say I have to be careful with what I say there, because Danganronpa I don't own, and I have to get it, which means I have to do it from my own money. And I have to be saving up a bit right now, so I'm kind of glad we haven't reached that goal. I'm not poor, but I still need to save money. But yeah, so if you have anyone out there have any ideas, do give suggestions. Like I'm all up for suggestions. This is a very long end. That's a lovely picture. Even the cat. I'm pretty certain it's just called cat in Japanese or something. No, it's something else because Neko is cat. It's something else. But it was something very simple translated. I just don't remember what. Yeah, but I love these games. But pretty certain. What's this? Oh, there are more. Okay, I'm gonna just check what this is. There might be end credits as well. Oh, that's Sato. Yeah, there are. Yeah, you did a remarkable job, to be honest, the voice actors. You did a great ass job. We already had one of these. I am gonna skip this, but all the people here who made this game, all those who made the models, the voice acting, the rigging, everything, you are absolutely amazing people. I'm just gonna see if there's like something, because there used to be some small stuff on the other games, but it might not be in this one. There used to be like an extra episode on Spirit of Justice and Dual Destinies. I'm just gonna check that. That's a cool picture. If the award wasn't there, I would absolutely have this as a goddamn screen back. I can do that. There we go. Even though it faded a bit.